Hey, welcome back. So, I have another narrative to tell you. This was almost at the very end of Gangstalking, and it was when I was understanding, when I began to understand that the voices were in my head, but I wasn't completely sure yet. So, it was 4 in the morning, and I was staying at the Father Joe's homeless shelter. I always woke up at 4 in the morning to go to the gym. So I got up, I put on my gym clothes, my leggings, put my hat on, I grabbed my water bottle, and then I just headed out to the elevator. I got in my car, and then I began driving. And then shit cunt began talking to me. So I'm gonna describe you who shit cunt is, but shit cunt is the primary voice she was a dominant voice. She was the girl that told me, well, the voice of the girl. So imagine this girl who is incredibly mean, incredibly entitled, bitch as F, and the story that she told me was that she was the daughter of someone of a mafioso that lived in TJ, who had this technology, who was using V2K technology to speak to me, and I was just a target, and that it was fun. She did cocaine and she partied and she was really hot and really beautiful, but she was a total cunt. So I called her shit cunt because I thought it was funny. So because of like YouTube, I'm gonna stop calling her that, and I'm gonna call her Anna. So Anna, I feel that is very fitting. I don't think it's fitting because I know a lot of like really nice Annas, but Anna is just the easiest name that I can just like imagine her having. But I named her shit cunt initially, just so you know. So when I say Anna, you just think shit cunt because that was her name. It's a hard choice because I don't want to get like demonetized. But anyways, Anna. So she was a complete narcissist and empathy-less person. So I was at this point, I was feeling every time that I saw something that like a trigger, I noticed that I was feeling a knot on my throat every time I would look at it. My throat muscle was being very sensitive and very, very active. I don't know why, but I would just like in my head, when I would ever feel it move, I would feel like a ventricle just like open and close and like turn like that, almost like an enclosed rose, but made out of like the internal parts of my mouth, of the paladar. I don't know how to say it in English, but but almost like a meat flour that was like closed like that and open. So whenever I say that I would feel a knot, I would just pretty much feel like this meat flour just like go like that, like twist, almost like a rose when it's not open yet, and it would just like open and they would like move like tentacles. That's the image that would pop up in my head whenever I would feel it, like a ventricle, literally like a ventricle. So for some reason, I was on the freeway, right? And then Anna began saying, homeless, 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 just like that. And she began just saying that again, homeless, 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 home. And it gave me a negative sensation. And every time she said it, I felt the ventricle just open and turn and open right inside my throat. And it would just they give me a really negative emotion every time she said it. But she just kept saying it. She was like, homeless, 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 homeless. And then there was another voice of a guy who just sounded stupid. He said, and the guy said, oh my God, she's justing you. She's taking all the energy away from you. So every time Anna would say something that would make me feel bad, they would tell me that the energy, every time that ventricle opened, the energy would just leave my body and it would feed all the gangstalkers my energy. So I couldn't help it but to imagine every time I felt this open, it just like opened, the ventricle of energy open. Let's call it that, the ventricle of energy. That the ventricle of energy open, and then all my energy would just come out. And that was why gangstalkers were doing that to me. That's why they were trying to make me feel bad. Because the narrative told me that I had so much energy. I was such a strong being of light. Of course, it didn't say it like that. But that I had so much energy that they were just taking the energy away from me. Whenever they made me feel bad, my ventricle would open, and then all these beams of energy would go right onto all the gangstalkers. And every time, that's why she was saying homeless, 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 just to make sure to get all that energy from me. And then she just became meaner. You fucking asshole. You look like a whore. You blah, blah, blah. And she just began. That's why she was being so mean. Because she was trying to get all this energy out of me. And whenever someone said something mean, and I would feel the energy, the gangstalkers would just, like, they would make a clapping sound or a banging sound, because that's how they would claim the energy. That's how they made the energy go to them. I can't believe I'm remembering this. I had completely forgotten. So they would say something to give me a negative emotion or a negative thought, and whenever I had that negative thought, they would bang somewhere, and then that's how they would claim the energy from me. That's the narrative that I had in my head. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm remembering this. I've been trying to remember this for the longest, and I'm remembering it just now. Oh my God, I really can't believe. Okay, so that's how it works. So every time a voice would say something that would, or a gangstalker would say something that would make me feel a negative emotion, they would just bang something, and then I would get this. That's how they would claim my energy, by banging. And then I decided, oh, I want to play too. So I became an asshole, and I began throwing indirects. And then whenever I said something mean, I just banged it, and I just felt my ventricle, my energy ventricle open, and I would literally just like feel energy, and I would be happy about it. And it was like the funnest game. Like, it was just super fun to me. That was like the best. That was when I began to like really enjoy gangstalking, because I was like, oh, well, I want to play too. Why not? So like, I was at work, right? And then this woman was being really mean, and I was being covertly mean to her. Like, I was like, I cannot wait for you to come into the store again. And then I just like banged, and then I was literally like out of my mind, because I was literally just making all these banging sounds. And then when I saw her express the emotion, there we go, I remember. So whenever you feel that throat ventricle, you could see the throat move. And when you see the throat move, that is that they scored. And that's when you make the banging sound, because you clicked it, you got one. And that's how you claim it. So that's a game that gangstalkers, oh my God, I can't believe I just remember that. I can't believe I just remember that. Oh my God. So that's how they play with you. That's exactly how they play with you. So that's how the emotional manipulation goes. I can't believe I just remember that. Oh my God. So Yeah, that's exactly how it's played. That is the game of gangstalking. So they're gonna throw words, they're gonna throw screwed or something, and when it clicks, they're gonna see your throat move, you're gonna swallow. But that means that it produces a negative emotion. And whenever they do that, they just make the banging sound. So then that's how they train you. Then after weeks of this, whenever you hear a banging sound, your mind is gonna trigger a negative emotion. Because that's how they train you, like a fucking dog. That's the game, to score. That is the game of gangstalking. That's the whole game. When I went to a restaurant on a date, so this completely changed the narrative. This completely changed. So this story that it says on the thumbnail, I'm so sorry, but I just have to tell you this right now. That is the purpose of the TI. To be the thing that they manipulate into having a negative emotion. And whenever a gang stalker gets it and they see your throat move, they see you react with a negative emotion, they celebrate. They literally go, yes, or yeah, or score, or like, I'm not kidding. I went to a date on a restaurant. I went to this restaurant in Hillcrest. In and out or something, not in and out. What's it called? I don't remember, but everyone around me was playing this game. I was on a date and everyone was playing it. So whenever they scored, I didn't react. I just kept my conversation. And I literally heard them say, what, no? And no one scored that day. No one. They did score, but I didn't show them that they did. I just kept on going with my conversation. So that's the biggest secret in gang stalking. They take your confidence down, they know about you, and then they use you as a pet. So whenever you have a negative emotion, they see your throat move, they make a banging sound, and that's how they train you to have negative thoughts about yourself. Well, that's why, remember that I told you that whenever I heard bangs, that someone would make a banging sound, regardless of what I was doing, the thought would be a negative thought about me, is because that's how they trained me to have a negative thought whenever I heard a banging sound. That's how they did it. I just can't believe I remember that right now. I've been trying to remember that for months. So anyways, there you have it. My next video is going to be only about that experience. See ya. Sorry, so I'm gonna keep on going with the story about the energy. So then, yeah, so I played that game too. And it was fun. It really was fun, to be honest with you. Like, honestly, there's been times where I have been wanting to get rid of my empathy because they use, my empathy has been used against me so much. Just to experiment what it feels like, you know. And that's the thing, is that they don't see people as people. They just see you as a thing that can be manipulated, as a toy. That's how they see everyone. And that's how they have come up with those games. So anyways, back to the narrative about the energy. So that's how I felt like I was connected to everyone. Because then I was working, and then the voices were literally telling me, yeah, and then so I learned how to close it. So in my head, oh yeah, so I almost forgot. So in my head, I imagined like a tunnel of like energy to go right back at me, or back at my toenail where I felt like I needed energy. So then they weren't getting any energy because I built like an imaginary energy tunnel, you know, for the energy to go back to me. And then the voice began saying, what are you doing? I want my energy. I feel tired. How dare you not give me my energy? Anna was complaining so much, and then I heard hundreds of voices. Hey, where's my energy? Efren, why are you being selfish with your own energy? You are our energy production machine. How the hell are you not giving their energy to us? And yeah, they were, and I literally, it was crazy because I was literally feeling like almost like I was getting full of something, like the narrative was so real that I was literally like feeling that I was getting filled with energy, and like I had like in my head like all the voices were crying like, Efren, you need to give us your energy. And then I would like negotiate with them. I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna give you some energy for like 1 hour, and then like opened it, and then they got some energy, and then I just took it back. But yeah, so and then the voices tried to make me like Anna began to be a total cunt, and what to make me feel bad, And this is the thing, is that when I was standing around, and then you would just hear ambient sound where people made banging sounds, and the voice in your head would coincide with something negative, and then you would hear a banging sound. They kind of began fusing together, and then the voice would say something that would make me feel like that. But then with time, as that went on, the voice and the banging sounds just kind of began fusing, and then the voice and the sound just kind of got tied in together, and then I just began having a negative thought about myself whenever I heard a banging sound. So then, yeah, I don't remember much about it. I do remember the most important things. But yeah, it was a game of energy where like whenever the voice said something bad that made me have a negative emotion, my energy ventricle would open, and then it would just feed my energy to the gangstalkers. And I don't know what happened, but at the end of that day, I just had so much fun with it, that when the voices stopped, again, I got another adrenaline rush. Like, for some reason, at the end of it, like, the voices began, when a mental game was over, the voices were like, oh, hey, Efren, how was this mental game? We set it especially for you. Wasn't it fun? I swear to God, like, the voices became my friends. And they were like, this game was so much fun. Oh my God, I love playing these mental games with you. This was a total blast. And then I would have conversations with them, and they would be the most friendly and the most amicable voices ever. And all of us were just so happy about having experienced all these mental games. It was such a blast. It was so much fun. So yeah, there you have it. This is a story of the time where Gangstalkers, I felt that they played a game of energy. Where I felt that I was the factory of energy that was feeding every gangstalker my energy. Thank you for watching. Bye.